So last year, I was absolutely not impressed with the All-Star Skills competition. It was just messy, a terrible format, cutting back and forth, not worth watching, to be honest. And so this year, I was kind of not sure what to expect. While I had high hopes for the draft, that was ultimately a bust. So much potential, just terribly executed and planned out. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised with the skills competition. I know many are going to complain no matter what, just for the sake of complaining. I have to say, it's one of the best in the last several years, for sure, in my opinion. It was a new format with an incentive to try to figure out, of all the All-Stars competing, who was the cream of the crop. The All-Star amongst the All-Stars. Okay, I mean, was it ever going to be anyone but McJesus? Probably not. But it was fun for all but maybe one guy, Nikita Kucherov, who was the first overall pick of the draft last night, and you kind of got the sense already then that he wasn't necessarily thrilled to be there. But man, he made that clear tonight, even getting booed at an All-Star game.
This is not a good look, quite frankly, and the fans are booing him, and that's what happens when you don't try your best and you're in a hockey city like Toronto.
Now, the boos weren't because of a rivalry, but because of his effort. He clearly did not give a rat's ass about this thing, and to me, it was kind of hilarious if I'm honest, but as a whole, I don't like it. No one really wants to be there. You'd rather be on a beach somewhere, I get that. But if you're gonna be there, then be there. If you're gonna represent your team, why not at least try? Instead, this was just embarrassing, in my opinion. This entire event is obviously for the kids. There is some young Kucherov fan in that building who came there to watch their favorite player just for him to not try at all. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. Again, he got booed more than once and played into it, giving the crowd a wave. So he played the heel well, I guess. And again, it was funny to me. It was clear that he was there to troll the entire event, but I just don't think it was a great look. Because truthfully, what did make this year actually pretty good was that everyone else did seem to take it at least somewhat serious. But some of the highlights of the night for me were the fastest shot, which is obviously a staple. Makar took it this year.
And I got a pretty stiff stick, so I think that gives me a little advantage. So
I thought that was pretty good. Pedersen was my sleeper, but he didn't seem to get a good piece of either of his attempts. Then there was the fastest skater, was a bit of a nail biter with Hughes clocking in at 14:088, and then Makar with a 14:089. Incredibly close. But again, who are we kidding? While Barzal had a great showing, cracking into the 13s with 13:519, ultimately McDavid, who has won 3 times before, won again. He took it with 13:408, winning for the 4th time in his career, the most ever. I thought the shootout event was pretty sick, honestly. Some really nice goals, and unlike in the past, the goalies had an incentive to make saves, winning $100K for the most saves. So what was great here was Georgiev poke checking McDavid all the way to this, a $100,000 poke check here to take it, which I thought was pretty good. The obstacle course was also pretty good. Barzal getting caught up in the saucer passes was brutal. I always feel terrible for guys when they get caught up like this. You know they're screaming inside. Draisaitl had it with the accuracy shooting, just Now, speaking of the accuracy shooting, though, it's another staple, and Matthews had himself a great showing, 4 for 5 with a great time. But again, it was McDavid who just crushed it. Impressive stuff. Now, one event I think we could do without was the passing accuracy one. Players were confused. It wasn't very clear what the order they were supposed to do it in, and yeah, Kucherov, again, really didn't care anyway. I think this was actually where it became pretty evident that he was packing it in. But yeah, I mean, I'm not here to do a full recap of an All-Star event, but overall, I thought it was good. Again, in the end, it was McDavid who took the dub, the $1 million, which wasn't a shocker to me. But yeah, if you watched it, let me know your thoughts on it down below. Did you enjoy this year more than others? I think you'd have to admit it was better than last year. That was an absolute joke, but yeah, that's about it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you in the next one.